Good morning and happy summer. Good morning, kids, scientists, and parents. Welcome to Junior STEM Club Summer Program. Today, we're going to go through the first experiment, and our series starts with water. My name is Elaine. I haven't done a video in a while, so if I have some umming, I'm sorry in advance. My name is Elaine Griggs. I teach math and computer science at the high school level. I have done so for 20 years. And I think this will be my 21st year coming up, 2025. I started Computer Science CS for Youth, a computer science and STEM education nonprofit 3 years ago. Let's go with 3 years. Facebook says it's been 3 years since I've had this group. 3 years yesterday, so perfect. And let's get into our first experiment, okay? So we're choosing water. This is a topic that we've had units on in Junior STEM Club. And Junior STEM Club is a 6-week program that typically happens in the fall. Sometimes it goes December to January, but I'm trying to finalize it to a November, early December 6 weeks, late October to early December. There is a start date and registration will be out for it during our registration event in August and September. So this summer, we're going to do some little experiments. And first I'm going to walk through the experiment, and then I am going to let you know how to get to the lesson plan in the interactive classroom. Okay, so let's do the experiment first. Water is a great topic for kid scientists. Now, the kid scientist program in the fall is the ages are from pre-K to 4th or 5th grade, depending on the kid. I started this program with my granddaughter over COVID, so it has been more than 3 years, but we're still going to go with the 3 years. And she said that she was really into science, and she still is, and wanted to, and I said, do you want, and it was COVID, do you want to try to find a group of kid scientists to do online experiments with? And she said, yeah, that would be great, Nana. So we had to start this group. And we have. And she does this program with me during the fall. And I will, when I see her, do these experiments again with her, and my grandson too. Okay, so I'll try to do shares with them. And I'm hoping that when you do any part of these experiments, you are willing to share with me. And this is a private group. So in case the shares get a glimpse of the kids, this is a private group, although that I try not to share any videos of kids personally. I try not to. Once in a while, the backs of their heads, or you will see occasional kids in my marketing that I've worked with, and but with approval of the parents. But even then, I use them very little. But that really is a different topic, even though I have brought it up. This is the first day of summer for me, by the way. I had some time. Yeah, this is it. The first day of summer. So I'm right on it. This is the first day of summer, and in the morning. I got out of school June 13th, which was a Friday. It was a lot to get out of my classroom. We have to clean it all up, put everything away, and I teach robotics, so there's a lot in my classroom. And by the 15th, I was on a plane to San Diego to take a summer institute at University of San Diego, which is gorgeous. Most gorgeous university I've stepped foot on. Really, really special place. And it was a wonderful class. The instructor was excellent. And that was for CSA, APCSA, which is the Java programming language, which I really need to even take additional courses. I mean, I'm really good in what I'm teaching, but I really do believe like I should know way past what I'm teaching, and I only know a little past what I'm teaching. I know enough to teach the course, plenty, but I think I'd like to take a couple Java courses when I have a spare minute. So beside the point, but that's about me and how this is my first day of summer. I just got back from San Diego last week, but still, then I needed a little time to sleep in. So this is my really first morning that I was able to wake up. So water is a great experiment. We start out in the lesson. So you have an actual lesson, and I'm going to let you know how to access it. And I'm going to put the PDF in the comments as well. You are able to access the lessons through an interactive classroom, and you can submit your results there too, and I will provide you asynchronous feedback. And water is such a great place to start for our kid scientists this summer. We start with the molecular denotation for water, which is H2O, 2 hydrogens and an oxygen. And one thing really interesting in the lesson plan is that the molecules of water are so small. There are billions, and I don't have the lesson plan up myself. There are billions, if you want the exact number, billions of molecules of that H2O in a single drop. And in the lesson plan, I do talk about how to explain billions as well. And we use and there's some multiple choice questions in the lesson plan. So there's lots and lots of extras. We're just going to go over the experiments here. There's also open response questions. So it's a pretty nice lesson plan. Hopefully I do as good of a job on the ones going forward as I did on this one. We will see. So the first experiment is Rainbow Bridge. I have almost no supplies. I have no supplies to show it to you, but it's so simple. You're going to understand it with no supplies. So you need 2 plastic cups. There they are. And you fill those plastic cups with beautiful H2O with the water. And then you need your bridge. The bridge is just a strip of paper towels, and you can experiment with the folds and the colors. So this is a fun experiment because once you do it once with your kids, then they can experiment in a lot of ways. So you're going to fold your paper towels into a strip or cut it into a strip. And then you're going to color, and there's illustrations in the lesson plan, but you're going to color the ends with water-soluble markers, which I don't have cups, I don't have paper towels, and I don't have water-soluble markers, but that's all you need. 2 cups, a strip of paper towel, and water-soluble markers. So you're going to do your rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And you might decide, once you see how the color mixing is, to leave out colors or to strategically put colors next to each other to see how they mix. So maybe putting blue and yellow next to each other, or doing blue and yellow, blue, yellow, and then see if green comes up in the rainbow. So this is a really nice way to advance the experiment. All right, and then on the other side too, rainbow, okay? So this takes so few materials, and that's what we go for, so few materials that you most likely have. You can use a napkin. You can experiment with paper, just a strip of paper. You can experiment with folded paper. There's so many ways to add to this experiment. Now, you take your colored rainbow and you just dip it into the water, making a bridge. Remember my cups of water? You dip it into the water, and a beautiful rainbow bridge will migrate together, and you can watch it or leave it and come back to it. So that's Rainbow Bridge. Really love this experiment because there are so many options to experiment with. So that's the first experiment. And I love that as a first experiment this summer. It's really one that you'll have all of the materials for, or easily able to get the materials for. Okay. So that's like the short, quick experiment. The second experiment that goes a little longer, if you've heard of Dr. Emoto, and I hope I'm saying the name right, but this is also on the lesson plan. Dr. Emoto does experiments with water and language. And his findings are that the water, we know about the states of water. The states of water, and this is fun because this is actually where Junior STEM Club started, with the states of water. So the states of water are solid, gas, and liquid. And when the water starts to form solid, it forms crystals. And even when it is in the solid, it forms crystals. And it doesn't take much for water to crystallize. You just start to have that freezing process. When you get like a little ice, but it's not all the way frozen, that is that crystallization freezing process. Beautiful, right? And what the experiments show is that when you freeze or change the state of the water, and let's say there's a label on this glass. So my big goal, right, to drink water. Drinking water is my big summer goal. So you're going to ask your kid scientist for a kind word and a hurtful word. And the kind word you're going to put as a label on something. Now, you could do this a few ways, but there's a kind word as a label on one water. And then there's a hurtful word as a label on one water. And I'm not telling you the words because this is important that the kids are coming up with these words. There's words in the lesson plan if you need ideas to kind of guide your kid scientists towards these ideas. But so now there's a couple ways to do it. You can take cut flowers and put cut flowers in the kind word labeled water, and then put other cut flowers in the unkind labeled water. And what Dr. Emoto says is that the kind labeled water turns beautiful crystallizations patterns, and the unkind labeled water turns muddy crystallization patterns, or not beautiful symmetrical crystallization patterns. And so you can put fresh cut flowers, and you can just grab fresh cut flowers from your yard or your neighbor's yard. And I should have to ask your neighbor first. These are from our yard, I think. And these have lasted so long in the water. I should do this experiment. I'll do this experiment, and next week I'll show you how it went. So anyways, you're putting one maybe in the water with the kind label, and one stem in the water with the unkind label, and see how it goes over the week, and let me know. Another way you can do this same experiment is to plant a seed or a cutting, and maybe a sunflower seed is a strong start, or a bean is a strong start. And then you're going to label the water that you water the 2 plants with your words and see if there's any difference. So that is the idea of Dr. Emoto's crystallization experiment. You can read more about this on the internet, or you don't have to. So share that with me over the summer. If you conduct that experiment, that's a longer length experiment for you to take a look at. Now, how to access the interactive classroom. So those are the 2 experiments, a short one, the Rainbow Bridge, a longer one, Dr. Emoto's water crystallization experiment variation. And I just love to talk about the Dr. Emoto. So you're going to hear more about those experiments throughout this series on water. Next week, we're going to make a wave tank and talk about shells. I shouldn't have even told you. So that's the next week. So getting to the interactive classroom. I'm using a Google Classroom. If for any reason you cannot access the Google Classroom, please let me know. I might have to change the settings. I'm pretty sure some of you are already in this Google Classroom. So you're going to see the program from last year and some of the experiments documented there. And then you're going to see summer 2025. And you're going to see this experiment. You'll see next week's as well. And I do the dates. The due dates are the dates that I'm putting them out there. So you access the Google Classroom with the code. The code will be in the comments, and the code is also in the group. And so you just go to Google Classrooms, Google Classroom. You do have to log in with a Gmail if you've never been in Google Classroom. And then once you get into the Google Classroom, you put in the code. If it's not that simple, just ask in the comments. I'm happy to help you. I can hop on the phone to help you. Any way I can help you, because I really think people are not going to need help getting into the Google Classroom. Should be super simple. And like I said, some of you, I think there's some people in that Google Classroom already. It is the same Google Classroom. I did not make a different one. So you can see this past year's Junior STEM Club program, what got documented, and you can start to see if I start filling out what this coming year is going to be. I do know the lessons for this coming year already. We've already planned that. My granddaughter and I have already made that plan. So we do know what that's going to be. So yay. I have made this Monday morning video. And I don't promise it's going to be Monday mornings. I semi-promise it's going to be Monday, no later than Tuesday for the summer. I'll let you know if I need to skip a week. And nice to meet you for so many of the people who are just meeting me. And nice to see you for my students and parents who already have had classes with me. Have a great week doing some experiments. Let me know how it goes. All right. Take care. Have a great week. Bye.